Good morning, everyone. Let's have a look at some of these charts. We're doing the live stream tonight. If you want to join the Patreon, there'll be links in the description below for that. So maybe I'll see you there. We can look at whatever altcoin or chart it is that you want. Anyway, and yes, I do feel like I'm particularly ill these days at the moment, but I'm telling you, when you got kids and you know they're in school all the time, and then at the moment there's scarlet fever and tonsillitis going around. Prior to that, there was all kinds of other stuff. Then they come home, then they give it to me, and then that's it. I have to deal with it. So it's not my particular. It's just bad luck. All right, I'm not, and even so, I'm not like ill. You know what I mean? I'm not like I just sound groggy. That's all. Anyway, let's reflect on our profit right now. We're all doing very well. I'm sure we are. If I have a bit of time today, I'll go back on my YouTube comments and rub into those salty wounds of those nasty people over the last week or so. I can't believe you. Here we are, back up at a new local high after a new higher low. Lovely. So what does it mean? Where can we go? Well, let's reflect on what we're doing right now. So we're currently at a resistance. The only difference is this time we're at the resistance with the money flow index on the 4 hourly at 63 pointing up, which means it's likely to break this time. Let's have a look at the last time we were at 93. That was a Bollinger Band center. Yesterday we crossed above the 20, rejected on the 21, and this morning we're above all of that. So it looks like we're trying to move higher now. The next major target, to be honest, is around about 98 on the daily and around 95 to 96.5 on the 4 hourly. Let's move over to the weekly. So moving back, we can see the drives of hidden bullish divergence that have been brewing now for several weeks. And the actual cloud itself found the area of support, the wick support, which, to be fair, I don't see very often. I'd go as far as to say that was anecdotal, but it did it. So above 93, then we've got 100, we've got 104, 107, 108, 112. All the way up to 112, I would say, before we can even consider anything amazing going on, as in like continuation of the bull market. So that would be a 39% move from the absolute low to the absolute high, if it were to do it. And the money flow index down here on the weekly is significantly low. It's like 40. So if it were to run, it would run quite hard. Let's move over to some of our other best friends. So the Dixie is rejecting as we expected, with all the bearish divergence in the world. On the 50 exponential, which is all part of a death cross, we've generally been expecting that. We're creeping towards maybe even breaking the 50 exponential here, which is all part of another death cross as well. Daily's death crossed, the weekly's death crossed. Lots of death crosses, and the 4 hour is now trending below all moving averages with a short signal, so we like that. So that's good stuff. I'll take that. I enjoy that. And what else are we going to look at then? Let's just check stocks then, shall we? So stocks getting ready to break out, going high, I'd say. So the 4 hour is consolidating at a higher level in the form of an uptrend. We've ricocheted from all the bull div down here, looking ready to make a new local high, all-time high. Moving over to the weekly, it's relatively clear. Hit the Bollinger Band, V-shaped recovery, getting ready for a new local high. So this is the one that I suppose would likely cause the most amount of problems. The Bitcoin dominance chart is now breaking above the 20 moving average and likely going to be hitting the 21 exponential soon, which means that this is actually flipping a little bit more bullish than it was bearish. There was hints towards that at the weekend, and now it looks like it's bubbling up some more strength. Death cross here, so the daily's still bearish until we've reclaimed those areas. So again, there's a chance of a decent rejection, but the 4 hourly is about to break bull now because we're above all moving averages, which will be going golden crossed, and you have a trend signal in play as well now then. So it is what it is. So I can't take anything away from the way it looks. This is the way that the chart presents. So yesterday I was saying, look, out of all the charts out there, there was our fart coin, and coin There was Altcoin that I was taking trades on. So let's just have a look at Altcoin. So I did a decent day. It's pulled back now, but over a single daily move from yesterday, pretty sweet. And now from the bottom, we can measure the wick bottom to the wick top. It was 122. Does it look like it wants to continue? Well, it does. A pullback is required, of course, but yeah, continuation is the name of the game on something like Altcoin at this stage. Obviously, if you're not in from a lower area, it's going to be very difficult for you to get in such a volatile chart. So maybe think about other charts instead, unless you did catch that one when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And my new pet chart is the Microstrategy chart. So this is still just waking up, alright? It's just waking up. I just want to share a couple of things with you. So hidden bullish divergence on the way down on the 4 hourly, nothing special. Still a downtrend as far as I can see on the 4 hourly here. But the increments on the way up, if you reclaim the 10 to the 20 to the 50 to the 200, the risk to reward on this is pretty awesome. And with that, I'm willing to talk about it. And same thing with the weekly. So we're pushing a resistance here. Next one, 240. Next one, 285. Last one around 300. Still pretty sweet moves, really. Now the daily, if we think about what we're looking at here on the daily, there was some bull div taking place on the money flow index, and as a result, if this were to turn around, increments on the way up, 200, 250, 330. I am willing to say that, yeah, I think this one is going to do, not a recovery, I'm not going to call for a V-shaped recovery on MicroStrategy, but a mega pump, really, a mega pump from these lows. You know, so we're talking about these wick lows roughly here, mid-range 20, 50, 80, 100, could easily be over a very short period of time. Again, I'm not saying it's going to reverse and you're all going to be super rich or whatever. The reason I brought this one up and Altcoin up yesterday is because these are the things that I like. These are the things that I like over the last couple of weeks, at least, anyway, and seems to have paid off. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. I think we're going to keep going up generally over this week, but remember, we are at resistance now, but this time 93 is not as hard as the previous 93. The previous 93 was backed up with a 20 moving average, which rejected a few days later, and now we're above all of that. So 93, yeah, is resistance, but not the same resistance as it was before. I think we're trending up higher now. Wouldn't even surprise me if we saw 107 over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.